Welcome back to Passionate Pursuits. I'm your host, Bridget Querns, and Happy New Year. It's been a couple weeks since I've released a podcast, and I wanted to come back and connect with all of you because I miss the connection that having this podcast brings. I took a week off for Christmas and New Year's just to celebrate and be with the family, but I am back and it's a new year. And if you are a subscriber on my newsletter, then you know that this year I'm going to be kind of pivoting in not a different direction, not a new direction, but a more focused direction with Querns Coaching and with the spiritual guidance and coaching that I'm offering for you. So last year was quite the year. At the beginning of the year last year, I did something that I've made a practice in my New Year's, which is set a one-word intention. Now, I've been doing this for a few years, and I decided to go in this direction versus the direction of resolutions because I really feel like there is a powerful, energetic invitation that we give to God, to the universe, to spirit when we get really clear and still and present and tune into our intuition and choose a word or a feeling that we want to call in and create and co-create with the universe during the year. So last year, my word was abundance. And going into the new year, I had lots of conversations. I did lots of meditation and journaling around what abundance feels like, what it looks like, what kind of things grasping onto abundance could bring into my life in the new year. And my gosh, it did not disappoint. It was a year of abundant love. It was a year of abundant transformation. It was a year of abundant blessings, material and emotional, in my communities, in the support that I found in friends and family and new acquaintances who I never expected would be so wonderfully, beautifully supportive. It was such a great joy and blessing to receive that comfort and support. But also, it was a year of, let's see if I can put this in the right words, abundance in terms of connecting with God and with my higher self, and really coming home to the idea that we co-create with a God for whom everything is abundant. There is no limitation to the beauty and the joy and the creativity and the opportunities that and the potential that co-creating with God offers. There's no limitations. So I got to see firsthand what it looks like when I invite abundance into my life. Then when I listen, when God wants to bring that abundance in, it's like, it's not just about setting this intention for the year. It's also about creating an openness and a space and a stillness to receive and to respond when something comes in that aligns with that word. So that was 2023. In 2024, my word is alignment. So I will be filtering every opportunity, every situation, every relationship through the idea of aligning with God's plan for my life and with the plan that my higher self, my soul, my spirit team came here to fulfill. I want to live in full alignment with whatever the universe and I had co-created prior to this incarnation. I want to bring that into full, colorful life this year. So that is my word for 2024. And also because of that, I am gaining a clearer focus on how I want to offer spiritual support and coaching to my clients. And that has to do with a few areas that were illuminated for me as areas where I am deeply passionate and where I feel I can offer the most, I'm not sure what the word is, efficient or compassionate support. So those areas are relationships. As many of you know, I consciously uncoupled this past year, and it's been a beautiful experience. It's really shown me that humanity is good and beautiful and kind if we just give it the opportunity to present itself. So relationships and uncoupling, consciously uncoupling, what can that look like? How can it be truly different? How can you rewrite the story for yourself of what your relationships look like in your life? They don't have to follow the script that society or that everyone else tells you they're going to follow. And just because you may have claimed or fallen into or chosen something that was misaligned for yourself before, for whatever reason, doesn't mean you have to stay in that place. I know so many people, so many beautiful, good, caring, compassionate, loving, generous people who have chosen or stayed in relationships where they were misaligned and where they were suffering and where they were not honoring the truth that they knew was residing within them. And this is no fault to either party, but you don't have to stay just because you made a decision before. When you know better, you do better, right? That's the saying. That's how the saying goes. Do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. Well, it's okay to do the best you can in your relationships until you come home to a fuller truth, to a fuller, more expansive relationship with your higher self and with the divine. And then when you know better, when you know yourself better, when you know what God wants for you better, it's okay to change your decision. It is okay to take a different path. We get so stuck and locked into, oh, if I did this and I made this commitment, then I have to stay with this forever. And I think that that does us great disservice because as humans, we are designed to grow and to change and to transform. And sometimes that means growing and changing and transforming apart. And sometimes it means growing and changing and transforming together. But you get to decide what that is for you, not anybody else. So, uncoupling in relationships is one area that I am passionate about and that I want to serve you in as we move forward with Quern's coaching and with this year. The other one is navigating coming out or fully claiming your gender and your sexuality and your expression, especially if that's something that you are doing a little bit later in life. So I'm almost 4 decades into this earth trip, and it has taken this long to really come home to what is my full expression? Where do I see myself in relationship with others? What does my highest expression, my most truthful and honest expression of my gender and my sexuality look like? No one else gets to decide that for you. I'm going to say this over and over again, but it's true. You know so deep within you, so deep, in fact, that it may be buried in a place where only your subconscious can reach it. But I promise you know deep down inside where your truth resides. You know who you are and what your fullest expression looks like. And a lot of us, me included, will ask others to validate us, or will seek approval, or will look for someone outside of us, some other force to tell us that we are okay, that we are enough, that we are good, that we are beautiful, whatever. But that's not necessary. What's necessary is you are not going to find fulfillment and satisfaction in your life. I don't care how many material possessions or people or things or whatever you can acquire, accomplishments, I don't care how many you acquire. If you are not fully expressing your capital T truth, you're not on the mission that your soul chose and that you came here for, you are not going to find full satisfaction and fulfillment in your life. But you can, as soon as you choose and make the decision to honor your higher self and to honor your mission and your truth that you came here to experience. As soon as you do that, and the sooner the better, because you will find yourself coming up against resistance and misalignment until you do. But as soon as you can courageously walk in a direction that begins to honor your truth and your fullest expression, you will find so much peaceful, comforting satisfaction and fulfillment. It's like you can breathe deeply again. It's like you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. I love me. I don't need anyone else to tell me that. I just love me. You can feel the stillness of the energy within and around you as soon as you come home to that truth. I promise that is the satisfaction and the fulfillment that you are deeply longing for. So, uncoupling in relationships, coming out, owning your full expression, whenever that is for you in your life. And finally, if you find yourself in a place where you're doing all of these, or one of these, or some of them, or in conjunction, or apart from each other, deconstructing and or reconstructing, but deconstructing maybe a system that you were indoctrinated into, or a faith that you were born into, or whatever it may be, but deconstructing some of those systems that you are in by choice or by nature or by family or by tradition or whatever, and finding the place for you that feels like home. One of the greatest gifts I gave myself was permission to walk away from a faith tradition that no longer resonated with my fullest expression. And it was scary because growing up, I was taught that if I did that, I was going to hell, that I was going to find myself in eternal torment if I walked away from my faith. But in stepping away from a tradition that was restrictive and that was suffocating and that didn't feel aligned, I found a relationship with the divine that is so powerful, so transformative, so close that it's like that was what I needed to do to come into a fully realized relationship with God, not the other way around. I didn't need the faith to bring me into a full relationship with my creator. I needed to come home to myself, look myself in the eyes, invite my creator who I am living and walking and breathing and moving and doing every step of every day with now. I needed to invite that creator closer. I invited that creator to sit with me in spaces that I never thought I would want God with me in. I find the most wholesome and beautiful expression of the divine in every moment, in every person, in everything, now more than I've ever felt before. So if you are really scared, if you've been told that the faith or the system or the tradition that you're in is the only way, and that if you were to leave it, you would be condemned, or you would be shunned, or you would be kicked out, or you, whatever it might be, you'd lose relationships, you'd lose security. That's a really scary place to be. But again, you will come home to a full expression of yourself, and you will find greater fulfillment and satisfaction than you could have ever imagined when you release the things that don't serve you anymore. It's almost easier to say, I don't know what my yes is right now, but I know that this is not it. And I knew that this that I was leaving was not it. I couldn't stay there one day longer because I couldn't be the full expression of myself. And if I can't be the full expression of myself, then I can't be in full relationship with the divine, period. The divine created me. We co-create this experience that I'm having in my life together. The divine uses me. I am a spark of the divine. I'm just God experiencing God's self. And if I can't be my fullest expression, then how could I ever expect to have a full relationship with that creator? It's counterintuitive and counterproductive, at least from my experience. So the three areas in which I am fully stepping into in 2024 to serve and to guide are relationships and uncoupling, coming out, and deconstructing. Those are things that I have personally walked through over the past few years. They are things that I feel so intimately connected with. They are areas that I'm deeply passionate about, and I want nothing more than to serve individuals who find themselves in situations where they're dealing with some of those issues. I want to help walk you through that liminal space of change, that kind of scary, kind of dark, kind of uncertain. I promise you that the darkness is not as scary as you think it is. The darkness is the place where all possibility is held, where all light is birthed from. The darkness, the transitions, the change, the liminal space, that is where God is pregnant with possibility. That is where all potential futures are held. And until we can walk into that space and sit in it and take up some of it and gestate, until we can do that, we are not going to walk into that satisfaction and that fulfillment that I'm talking about. But you can do it. I have done it. I survived an experience that I would never wish on anyone, but that was the greatest gift in my life, because coming face to face with death, staring her in the eyes, getting the offer of walking with her into the future, that showed me that I have an opportunity to create whatever possibilities, whatever future is out there for myself, or I have the opportunity to refuse it and to choose to stop the mission. I'm done here. Take me back. It was such a gift to come face to face, have that deathbed experience and say, no, this is what I came here for. I'm doubling down. And God, whatever future you have for me, that's the future that I want. So whatever you ask me to do, wherever you ask me to go, whomever you ask me to serve, whatever I'm walking into, none of it is as scary as the potential of aborting this mission and leaving and saying, forget about it. I can't do this. None of it is as scary as that. So now nothing will ever frighten me as much as that experience did. I'm so motivated to see this mission through and to serve people from a place of a healed, whole expression of myself. I want nothing more than to see you not have to go through that experience, and also to walk you over the bridge of that valley that I was in and say, if you will allow me to guide you to serve you, to accompany you on this journey through the darkness, through the liminal space, if you will allow me to be with you in that, then we can walk into this higher expression of yourself where you will find so much fulfillment and peace and joy and satisfaction. And it is completely removed from any circumstances you could experience in your life. It is just you, your creator, or whatever you believe in, the universe, spirit, God, love, and your higher self. That is all you need. Everything else is a bonus. It just gets added on in abundance, in alignment with that truth. So thank you again for allowing me to serve you, for letting me take this time with you. I'm so deeply, deeply grateful for the connections that I've made in these past years. And I look forward with great anticipation to seeing you walk into the highest expression of yourself. If I can serve you, reach out. Let's meet. I love nothing more than to jump on Zoom or grab a coffee in person and talk about how I might be able to serve you. To see you walk into that higher expression, to get to witness your full blossoming and birthing. It is such a gift, and it will never get old. So in the show notes, my contact information, quernsbl@gmail.com. If you want to send me an email, let's get in touch and talk about what this looks like for you. It would be my joy to serve you and walk alongside you in this journey. Love you all.